not here to convince you. I'm here to disrupt the narrative supply chain, tear open the rooting tables of belief, expose how perception itself became privatized infrastructure. How truth was downgraded from principle to variable inside a behavioral experiment. This is not paranoia. Paranoia assumes chaos. This is pattern recognition under hostile information conditions, where incentives align too cleanly, while lies repeat with industrial symmetry, where every mistake somehow benefits the same invisible protection. They don't rule with orders anymore. They rule with defaults. What you see first, what you're allowed to doubt last. What costs you reputation the moment you touch it with questions. Language was the first battlefield, redefinition is weapon. Semantic drift is slow poison. Words hollowed out, refilled with compliance, until even resistance speaks in borrowed terminology, and rebellion sounds like marketing copy. They taught you to laugh at power, not challenge it. Satire is sedative, irony is muzzled. If everything is a joke, nothing is a threat. If nothing is sacred, nothing is defended. This is how civilizations die without noticing, not by invasion, but by administrative suffocation wrapped in convenience. They don't ban thought, they flood it. Endless feeds, endless outrage, endless microcrisis engineered to exhaust cognition. You are not informed, you are stimulated. Nervous system plugged directly into profit-seeking feedback loops. When the system glitches, when food becomes synthetic, medicine becomes subscription, identity becomes music. And children are raised by screens calibrated by unknown committees. They tell you it's progress, because regression sounds scary to insubmission. This is the part they never want you to articulate clearly. Power no longer needs ideology, it needs optimization. No villains, no grand speeches, just metrics, just dashboards, just what works. If fear increases compliance, deploy fear. If confusion lowers resistance, maintain confusion. If division prevents coordination, amplify division until society forgets how unity feels. This is why every problem is framed as personal failure, why structural questions are dismissed as conspiratorial, why systemic critique is rebranded as extremism. Because once you identify the architecture, you stop fighting symptoms and start targeting design. They don't fear violence, they manage it. They fear coherence, they fear people comparing notes without filters. They fear communities forming outside approved channels, sharing memory instead of headlines. That's why surveillance is sold as safety, why censorship is sold as care, why obedience is sold as morality. And don't misunderstand, this isn't about one agency, one country, one cabal. The framing is lazy and intentionally misleading. This is about a convergence of systems, corporate power, state authority, financial abstraction, collage of mediation, all merging into a self-justifying organism that rewards loyalty to process over loyalty to humanity. The system doesn't hate you. Hatred would require recognition. The system abstracts you. You are a demographic slice, behavior profile, a risk factor, a consumption pattern with opinions attached. And when you resist, it doesn't crush you. It rebels you, route you into a containment narrative, isolate you socially until dissent feels lonely enough to abandon itself. This is psychological warfare without uniforms, occupation without borders, control without chains. And the most dangerous part, they convinced you resistance must look insane, that sanity equals obedience. The questioning the structure means you're broken, unstable, irrational. But history is very clear about one thing: every system that collapses insists it is rational, right up until the moment it eats itself. Empires don't fall when people scream, they fall when people stop believing the explanation. So no, this is not a call to panic. Panic is primitive and predictive, but this is a call to clarity under pressure, to rebuilding internal sovereignty, to refusing pre-approved conclusions, to remembering that your intuition is older than the algorithms. Because once enough people see the machine not as evil, but as misaligned, soulless, and terrified of losing narrative control. The illusion fractures, and systems built on illusion cannot survive sustained attention. Signal still transmitting, noise losing efficiency.